Hello and welcome to the show. We are talking about therapy today with women who say it is crucial to managing their stress and their success. Nettie Jones is a licensed psychotherapist and the author of The Girlfriend's Therapist. Michelle Lamb was teased by kids for being tall and lanky. That is until she started modeling as a teenager, and then that hushed everybody up. She's now an actress and an Army veteran. And MzShyneka is a syndicated radio show host, television personality with a big personality. And she's had to navigate life in the public eye through good times and not so good times. So it's a pleasure to have all of you here. Nettie, welcome. And to you ladies, welcome back.
Yes.
So good to have you here. I think it's important just to start with why it is important to talk about what we're going through, because so many women still silently suffer and just sort of listen while other friends are saying, oh yeah, like I just can't open up like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Your voice is powerful. And sometimes we need to hear ourselves say whatever it is we're feeling.
Yeah.
But to have a safe space and a place to be able to talk is very helpful. It's healthy.
Without the judgment, right? Because you can't tell your business to everybody. But you know when you've got a good crew. Yeah. And I know you both have a really good, solid core, a sister circle of women. How much does it make a difference just to be able to just that early morning text or late night phone call?
Well, for me, my circle isn't as big as it may seem. It's a little smaller. However, you got to have that one good friend that, you know, you share each other's secrets. So it's not just me pouring into her, draining her. We pour into each other.
Yeah.
So it has to be reciprocated. So I do have like this one good friend that she know everything. If
Everything.
Everything.
Yes.
Everything. And it's good to have that. You need that as women, I believe.
Yeah, and MzShyneka, I know for you, you've got that one. You've got a good. You don't need a whole lot. You just need a couple you can trust and who trust you.
Of course, I have a really tight group of friends that have been there for me and just send me the word, a good word or vibe for the day or to end my day. And it's just amazing to have them in my corner.
Yeah, which brings us to your book, Girlfriend's Therapy.
Yes.
Let's talk about why you called this book, about what you've learned about Girlfriend's Therapy, and why you wrote a book about it. I love the cover.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's the Girlfriend's Therapist Handbook.
Yeah.
Owning Your Truth, Transforming Your Life. So as a therapist, I think it's so important for women to understand themselves, right? And so the purpose of the book was to integrate it with the therapeutic process, but for women to develop a closer, more intimate relationship with themselves.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've got a best friend. We always laugh and say, you know, we know where the skeletons are buried, right?
Right.
So you have to have that. But I think being able to have relationships with others is important, but really having a relationship with yourself is important.
Right.
So that you can create the space to have friendships.
Absolutely.
Healthy friendships.
And to go through the things, right? The things that hit us. I know for you, MzShyneka, you've been open about losing a job.
Yes.
And what that experience was like. And that's one of the hardest things for people to talk about, right? Especially when your whole crew is successful.
Right.
How did you handle that? And how did your girlfriends and therapy help you with that chapter and that season of your life?
Wow, that was a big season for me.
Right.
I had been at this job for 20 years.
Yeah.
And it's literally where I grew up from teenage. I interned there when I was 18. And during the pandemic in 2020, I was laid off with like half of the world.
Right.
So in that regard, it didn't embarrass me as much as you think about your job loss one day. Because if you're working for somebody, eventually you're not going to be there anymore.
Right.
And when that day came, I was just like, all right. It really hurt me though once it was published in the newspaper. And it said that MzShyneka loses her afternoon position. And I was just like, the word lost, literally took me out. And there was an outpouring of support from listeners over the years. But to be able to go through that time, I did have my family there. I had the comfort of my friends. But more importantly, the grieving process for me was really hard because that's all I literally ever knew.
That did, yeah.
That was my
right.
first job I ever had.
And and it speaks to the staying power, but it also speaks to what COVID did to so many folks, right?
Exactly.
For you, Nettie, self-esteem was something that you struggled with, and self-love.
Yes.
You were 40 by the time you really could say, I love you, Nettie.
Well, I said I loved you earlier,
Okay.
but 40 was like, look, I'm not waiting for anybody else to celebrate me, right?
that part.
So I asked for a surprise birthday party. Who does that? Right, but I did. On my 40th birthday, I didn't get it, but I got it on my 41st birthday. But what that showed me was that I had to celebrate me and to stop waiting for other people to plan, to celebrate, to acknowledge, to validate, you know, all of those things. So
And that's with our friends and even members of the opposite sex or partners. We waiting for somebody to, do this big thing
yes,
for.
absolutely. So I took control.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like the control part. Michelle, when we come back, I want to launch into how you had to learn how to take care of yourself after some really difficult ordeals. We'll just leave it right there because I want you to say in your words that this conversation is going to continue. We have got a lot to unpack, but let's be honest, so do you. And these are the kind of conversations that we have that help us all learn something new. When we return, Michelle, MzShyneka open up about some really deeply personal experiences, the kinds that help us learn to grieve and grow. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I really want to thank you for season 3 of Portia. It's because of loyal viewers like you that we keep getting to share this daily dose of positivity all across the country. So just a reminder, I still need you to like, comment, and subscribe. And go ahead and tell your friends. You can catch us now in Orlando, in San Francisco, in Atlanta, and all across the country on Fox Soul. Tell your friends. We'll see you soon on Portia.